Justin Bieber walked onto the Coachella stage after 4 years of silence. $10 million, 60,000 fans, and what happened next? Nobody saw coming. Some called it the biggest scam in music history. Others called it pure genius. But the real story behind that night is something most people still do not know, and once you hear it, everything changes. By the end of this video, you will understand exactly why Justin did what he did. But first, you need to know where he was just 2 years ago. 2 years ago, Justin Bieber could not move half his face. Ramsay Hunt syndrome attacked his nerves and left him unable to smile, unable to blink.
This syndrome called Ramsay Hunt syndrome, and has caused my face to have paralysis.
Unable to perform. Comments flooded every post he made, fans saying they were scared they would never see him again. There were moments Justin genuinely did not know if he would ever perform again. Hailey Bieber later sat down and said something quietly, almost like she did not want to say it out loud. She said she refused to walk away, that she stayed through every dark moment, that he needed her there. And slowly, something shifted. Coachella announced his name. Twitter exploded within seconds. Tickets sold out before most people even finished reading the announcement. Nobody was prepared for what happened next. The lights went dark, Justin walked out. 60,000 people screaming his name. And then he stopped, walked past the mic, and sat down in front of a laptop. He pressed play. His old YouTube videos filled the screen. Baby, never say never. One less lonely girl. He just stood there, watching them play. Comments flooded TikTok within minutes. Media picked it up fast. Headlines called it the worst Coachella performance in history, and the $10 million scam conversation took over everything. Actually, those videos on the screen, they were the exact same clips that made Justin famous at 13. His mom filming him in a small Canadian town, singing covers, uploading them to YouTube, a manager named Scooter Braun finding those videos, and an entire career starting from nothing. Some fans defended him instantly, saying he came back to thank the place that gave him everything. Others still called it self-indulgent. But by the next morning, his old songs were everywhere again. Streams climbed higher than they had in years. Not because of a hit single, not because of a PR campaign, just because people remembered who he was. People who had ignored him for years were suddenly playing his songs again. But behind all of this, there was something much darker nobody was talking about. Hailey gave an interview, quietly, no big announcement. She talked about days Justin could not get out of bed, hospital visits that never made headlines. And then she said one thing that stopped people mid-scroll. She said there were nights she sat next to him and genuinely did not know if the person she married was still in there. Comments flooded in from fans who had criticized him just days before. Some posted long apologies. Others said they finally understood why it took 4 years. That just standing on that stage after everything his body and mind went through was already more than most people could ever do. Maybe Coachella 2026 was not the comeback everyone imagined, but maybe that was never the point. He showed up after the paralysis, after the depression, after 4 years of not knowing if his face would ever work again. Most people remember Justin Bieber as the kid who had everything. Very few know he is the man who almost lost it all and chose to come back anyway. Not perfectly, not loudly, just honestly. And sometimes that is the hardest thing a person can do. Subscribe to Off Camera Secrets.